I am really disturbed by how big this tent is. And Blondie is already like over the honeymoon phase. She was happy to see me yesterday. Now the idea that I need her to send me footage just is driving her into a rage. Is this because I said you had irritable bowel syndrome? Yes. Good morning. Busy morning here at Camp Massatators as I am working away and drinking coffee, and Taters is occasionally making little noises and drooling. And we have had a busy and slightly chaotic morning. At least those of us that woke up before like noon did. Trying to get everything sorted. Good morning.
Good morning.
You need to drink more coffee. I keep trying to convince Jen that it is Tuesday, but sadly she just came off of work, so she still knows what day of the week it is, unlike me. So I'm resulting to guilt. It's okay. I mean, Tropical Tom will cry if you don't speak on camera. But yeah, that guy, I would never have called that guy a houseplant because he was way worse.
Oh, this is beautiful.
No, Blondie, no winery. I was coming to get the sign. You don't get to go drink today. Seriously, that's not the direction we're going. Jen is intrigued and I want to go because this has Catholic vibes. And as we have already learned, nuns do not like me. I've mostly just been blabbling on and blabbling. I'm blabbling. But now Jen appears to be laughing. What? You didn't even say anything. She is a real pro at talking on camera, can't you see? Her mouth almost made a word. Taters is now practicing her cattle wrangling. Oh, that one decided to go back over there. He's afraid. First step, hit record. Second step, walk. Third step, make sure you're walking fast enough. This is going well. Wow. You have found image stabilization, held it down, and had your way with it. Not in a good way. At this rate, this is going to be a very long summer.
So I'm having a really great first day. Oh yeah,
new
shake
pants.
it. The last couple weeks of school, I'm always in a little bit of a weird headspace. There's a lot to do. I gotta finalize grades, write final exams, write final reviews. There's a small minority of students that decides within like 2 weeks of the end of the year that they suddenly care about passing the class. So helping them to get to the finish line. There's also all the emotional stuff, right? You've got all the seniors coming back, being like, goodbye,
Summer! Screw you guys! I know.
goodbye, I'm gonna miss the school so much, but you signed my yearbook, and it's like, oh,
Have a great summer!
then trying to, at the same time, get ready for summer and make sure I have everything I need to come fly out here. So always like, not quite stressful, just a lot mentally to process, right? And then I come out here and within a day, it's like all of that just falls away. It feels like it's in the distant past.
Except we just Googled Indiana time zone and now our mental processing is overwhelmed. How is this state still in the union after all of, seriously, like Wikipedia?
That was pretty hilarious.
My mind is blown.
Our phones are still constantly jumping back between the time zones.
It's like this street versus that. It's not.
So I did manage to make it out with everything I need. Oh, be careful.
Don't mind me, I just nearly skipped and hyperextended my knee.
There's no more stress, nothing to worry about, just walking for the next 9 weeks or so.
Says the guy who's been walking for 75 days?
Yeah, I know. You get to go longer than 9 weeks.
No, I'm just saying the lack of stress. No stress out here.
Waking up next to the Indian Lake was really nice this morning.
Eventually,
And
when you woke up.
Yeah,
It
okay.
took a while.
I still need to catch up on a little bit of sleep. Thank you very much.
Depends which time zone you're in. You might have gotten a lot of sleep or less.
And the first hiking section in the forested area was really nice. And even this kind of thing, even though it's on roads, we've only seen, what, like 5 cars all day.
No turtles.
So it's been pretty nice and quiet. Oh my gosh, I'm still waiting for the turtles.
Turtles.
But the butterflies have been amazing. Big ones flying around all day on all the flowers. And the frogs. There's been some really cute frogs.
I thought I recognized. We used to have those behind the house. I used to have really weird dreams because the property was fenced off. Yes, yes, ferocious doggy. They're just all over the place, and when they go off, they're kind of deafening. I love when people have signs about there will not be any more illegal activity out here. A few days ago, there was actually a sign saying no, like, illegal fighting or gambling on the premises. So this is an interesting one. This town actually has some big abbey. And per the waypoints, there's a guest house, which we're not going to stay on because Taters has to do another like 8 miles. But they may have food, which I am all about. They're not like some monks that only eat fish, right? Beer and fish. Oh, what if they make beer with fish? What? Oh, that would be horrible. That was the strongest reaction I've seen her have all day. And our discussions included the Indiana time zone system. I have had clam or like oyster beer.
What?
Yeah, it was disgusting, and yeah.
Do you want to walk by it?
That is the, we are walking by it. It's just at the top of the hill. If I go to the top of the hill, I'm going to want a beer, and then I'm not going to want to come down the hill, and then our next 8 miles are going to be difficult. The annoying thing of this choose your own time zone adventure where it's somewhere between like 2 and 6 hours until dark, depending, is we have a very hard time figuring out like what time zone the phone is reporting. Sadly, no monk beer for us. Taters is, however, charging towards a bar at the next town. Nothing like avoiding the monks with their culture and going to see what a dive bar in some speck in the middle of a state that can't even figure out what time zone it's in. We're really going to absorb some culture here. Balboa. Welcome to the glorious town of Fulda, which apparently has a bar. That's what has Taters excited. And Taters is going to at least see about eating at Louis'. I would have got a picture of my food, but it disappeared too quick. And I've been trying to distract Taters so her food would have an unfortunate accident. So the good news is we got food. The bad news is Jen got me exactly as much food for me as she ate. So I'm now starving, and I'm starting to think, ooh, what was that case we were talking about when cannibalism is allowed in the case of shipwreck? I would need a boat and a small amount of water, but you know, that can be arranged.
Sorry, we'll feed you more at camp. Noted for next time. Gotta get the 12-inch.
We actually had a lot of fun with the locals there. They were highly entertained by us, and one of the guys came out and chatted with us for a while. He actually has land a mile out of town, but we want to do a little more. Unfortunately, Jen has been crushing my spirits as far as hotel options because Santa Claus is a little too early, and there do not seem to be many good hotel options ahead. And that is fine for Miss Sunshine, and I've regularly had a shower for the last, however many months, but some of us have been out here sweaty in the same shirt for the last week plus.
We have a great plan. Boonville has a nice hotel. It's a good price. It's timed well where it's going to be right at the end of our day tomorrow.
The review said usually not murdered, so yeah. It is a small single-story hotel that there is no sign if it has laundry or anything else. We also don't know how much it costs or if it's going to be available. And then a day or two past that, we're in Evansville, where there's also not many motels along the route. So yes, basically when Jen talked me out of trying to get into town for the hotel the other night, she has ruined my Indiana time. So we think we have some woods scoped out that we can use, because Jen said I couldn't stay with the nice guy at the bar who said he'd cook us breakfast. He didn't even compliment my dental hygiene like those other guys before you got here. Never mind, it's a Deliverance joke, Jen. You'd still have to watch that movie. We get asked a lot, like, why we're doing this. Are we doing this for a cause? And depending on my mood, I will sometimes say something like, for coffee, boobs, or nachos. Yeah, she doesn't approve of most of those. But we have a new one. Now I'm going to answer, we are hiking across America to try and make sense of this state's time zone policy. I'm seriously bothered by this. I read that entire damn Wikipedia article. It makes no sense. I'm convinced we should just split this state up into two and allow like Puerto Rico in.
One of the funniest things that you said all day was that it's the Schrodinger time zone. Because it changes when you look at your phone.
Yeah, basically. Seriously, read the Wikipedia article. It's about like this county was on Central, this was on Eastern, but then this one did daylight saving times, this didn't. And then this one petitioned to go to the other one, but they were disallowed. But then the locals decided they were going to go anyway. And after weeks of winding back and forth, adding occasionally tens or hundreds of miles, we are now mostly moving west from here. It is basically a straight shot 3 or 4 miles to Santa Claus / Holiday World. So we jumped off the road a little early. We had one other spot that's another mile or so, but then there's no other option before town and an expensive hotel. So we're feeling pretty good about this. It's just figuring out where to set up the new tent is a challenge. And there was really decent stuff, but right by the road. And I don't want our lights to catch sight of anybody. And we don't want to go too much further over, just because that gets near a farm. But there's no trespassing signs or any of the big warning things. On the plus side, we are actually going to be able to get Blondie's gigantic tent set up here. So massive. I was half convinced that we should just get two people tents. We can wave at each other and like fist bump.
Couples do that.
Just the ones that have been together a long time. So we did manage to make this work. It is very good that we are doing it in daylight. We're not bumbling around in the dark, getting caught on thorns and things. Oh, Jen, you're missing all the fireflies.
Alright, had a really nice first day filled with pleasant walking, pretty scenery, and amazing conversation. And we have a happy little stealth camp in the woods. Home sweet home for the night.